listeners, and welcome to Besterday, your one and only source of the scandalous lives of Manhattan's elite. I'm Bianca, and I'm a 90s baby, but before we get started, I want to introduce this week's co-host, and her name is...
Ann Akinnuoye.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Tell the people what you do.
So I am Ann Akinnuoye. I work in marketing consulting for various artists and brands, and I'm excited to do this week's episode.
Yeah, it's all about Gossip Girl. If you haven't realized from my introduction, I'm so excited. But before we get into all of that, I have to remind you guys, Besterday is a podcast where we reminisce on the songs that had your heart, the movies that made you laugh, and everything pop culture from the 80s to the early aughts. So think Super Soakers, Dragon Ball Z.
Yo-yos?
Yes, yo-yos.
Yes.
I can never do the yo-yo properly because I'm like, I was not skilled in yo-yos. They look cool though. Like I remember I had like a glow-in-the-dark one, and that was like bomb.
I love collecting them, but
Yeah.
I literally just do the up and down.
Yeah, it was dope. And what else? Oh, Polly Pocket. That was one of my favorite dolls. But yeah.
They all scare me.
Really?
Yeah, they scare me.
You know, I'm scared of like porcelain dolls, like the one that look like actual children.
Yeah, the ones that like move and like talk, they scare me. Like I feel
Oh
like
yeah,
they might come
that's
back alive
weird.
at nighttime and,
Like some Annabelle shit. No, but like Barbies, they're cute, but like actual dolls, no thank you.
Right.
And guys, like I say every week, hashtag Besterday on Twitter and Instagram, and also send me some ratings on iTunes. Very, very important. And also follow myself if you haven't already on Twitter at Bianca and Rogue. And Ann, what's your Twitter handle?
You can follow me at Miss Akinnuoye, MSAKINNUOYE.
All right, let's do this. All right, this week in history, a lot of stuff happened this week, so I'm just going to run through it real quick so we could get to the juicy stuff. All right, September 17th, 1983, Vanessa Williams was crowned Miss America in 1984. Yeah. September 18th, 1970, Jimi Hendrix died at age 27. It's one of my favorite artists of all time. September 18th, 1987, DuckTales premiered. September 18th, 2004, one of the most iconic marriages of all time. Britney Spears married K-Fed. That was before the whole breakdown scene, but yeah. I mean, I feel like he was the cause of it, but that's
why I was laughing. Like, I really feel like he started her downfall.
Yeah, man, that was a dark time in pop. September 19th, 1989, Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation 1814 came out.
Love me some Janet.
Yes. September 19th, 1990, Goodfellas premiered. That's still one of my favorite like mafia movies of all time. September 19th, 2005, How I Met Your Mother premiered on CBS. September 20th, 1960, The Flintstones made its debut on ABC, another classic show. September 20th, 1984, The Cosby Show premiered on NBC, another classic.
So sad how that's turned around.
Yeah, we won't get into that. You guys know the whole story, but the show alone is
it was really good.
classic. September 21st, 1967, Queen Faith Hill was born, country music icon. September 22nd, 1987, Full House premiered on ABC. And that's actually going to be the premiere of season 3 of Fuller House on Netflix. So they're doing like a special episode because it's going to be the 30th anniversary. So that's going to be on Netflix this Friday. Did you look out for that, guys? September 22nd, 1989, ABC debuted TGIF. I remember like running home like to get ready to watch TGIF. Like that was like... the business. Yeah, so the first programming block they had was Full House, Family Matters, Perfect Strangers, and Just the 10 of Us.
That sounds so good.
But then they started adding like Boy Meets World and oh my god, what's that show with the Olsen twins? It's not It Takes... Well, you guys know what I'm talking about. The name...
Still small,
when
right?
they were teenagers, they had a show on ABC Family. We'll have to look that up. But guys, yeah, hashtag Besterday. Let me know if you know the show I'm talking about because I'm not going to remember at the moment. But yeah, TGIF was also always like... I think they also had... I think what other shows they had on that. I think they added Blossom on there too. And Sabrina the Teenage Witch was on TGIF as well.
Show.
Yeah. Classic shows. September 22nd, 1994, Friends premiered on NBC. And September 23rd, 2003, One Tree Hill debuted on the WB. Before it was a CW, it was a WB for all you 2000s kids out there. But yeah, One Tree Hill is such a great show.
Yeah,
I think
it really
people
is.
didn't really take it for what it was.
I really liked it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a bomb show.
I feel like it was like fake relatable.
It was so good. What else? And last but not least, September 23rd, 2009, Modern Family premiered on ABC. I didn't realize the show was on that long for it's been almost 10 years. Modern Family has been on.
I actually got confused when you said How I Met Your Mother earlier. I thought I was thinking Modern Family. Like, isn't that still on?
Yeah, I think. Now, How I Met Your Mother is not on anymore.
Yes, it's Modern Family.
Modern Family's still on, still winning like all the awards in the world.
Right.
But yeah. All right, guys. So we are going to get into some nostalgic news. We talked about this a little bit last week, but it's finally official. The new Powerpuff Girl is here.
Ooh,
and she
so
is
excited.
black.
So excited.
Black. Her name is Bliss, and she is actually the older sister of the three girls, so Bubbles, Blossom, and Buttercup. And instead of because Professor Utonium, they made the girls with chemical X.
Yeah.
But Bliss is made with chemical W, so she's still having trouble controlling her powers.
Chemical Win.
Yeah, chemical W. But yeah, she's gonna make her appearance in the first installment it's called Powerpuff Girls: A Power of Four, and it's a 5-part movie series. So it's not just gonna be like a one-off episode thing. It's gonna be like a long-term movie special. Yeah. So that's really dope. Yeah. I mean, she looks bomb. Like she has like really like bright Nicki Minaj blue hair.
She looks like a black girl.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like looking at the poster and like she has a little bit of hips.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I was
like,
like, what?
I actually started following the girl who's gonna be the voice of her, and I was just like, this is so exciting.
Yeah.
I love Powerpuff.
Oh, same. Powerpuff Girls is such a dope show. Yeah, it was good for girls growing up, like there weren't a lot of like superheroes that we could look up to in the Powerpuff Girls. They were that example for us. So go Bliss. Last week actually it was the 25th anniversary of Sister Act, which is crazy. And yeah, all of the original cast members, they went on to The View and they performed I Will Follow Him. So they're all dressed in like their nun outfits and stuff. It was so cute.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
So much. It's like a feel good movie.
Yeah. Oh, side note, the sitcom that I was talking about, the Olsen twins, is called So Little Time. That was what I was talking about. But yeah, I got it, guys. That was part of TGIF. But yeah, anyway, yeah, they performed I Will Follow Him on The View, and it was so cute just to see like Whoopi like in her because she hasn't really acted in a while.
Yeah,
so it was cool.
Yeah, her face, like she looks
exactly. So it was cool to see like all of them back together on The View. So that was really dope. And finally, for all you gamer fans out there, the NES Classic is coming back. They announced, I think it was earlier this year that they're going to discontinue it. Even though like the demand was like crazy high, but they didn't make enough product to sell. But now they're going to extend the shipments so they could give you guys what you want. So the classic NES games included Donkey Kong, Super Mario Brothers, and Legends of Zelda. And it was priced at $59, so it wasn't too expensive.
Yeah. How much is it? Do you know?
It's actually the original NES is $59, and then this new one is going to be $79.
Of course.
Yeah, always upping the price. But yeah, this new one is going to play 21 classic SNES games, including like Super Mario World and all of the games that we grew up with. So
I thought you were gonna say 21 Savage.
Oh no. But yeah, I mean, I don't understand if there was a demand for it. I don't understand why they would want to get rid of it. Like people love like classic game consoles. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, Nintendo is always doing well, so I'm sure they're going to make a lot of money off of that.
As always.
All right, guys, it is time to talk all things Gossip Girl. It's like there's just so much. I can't believe, well, it's turning 10. We're recording now on Tuesday, September 19th. By the time you guys hear this, will be a few days later. But today is the official 10-year anniversary of Gossip Girl, which is wild.
Crazy.
10 years ago.
I feel old.
I mean, I feel old too because prior to watching the show, I read all the books.
Oh, see, I never read.
Yeah, I read all the books by Cicely Von Z. I can't say her last name, but Yeah, I read all the entire series.
How many books
And
were there?
don't remember the full. You know what? Let me look it up. But yeah, I read all. I remember going to like. I mean, when Barnes and Nobles was actually Barnes and Nobles, like when you could actually buy
Go
books
in there,
nowadays
right.
instead of just going on Amazon. But yeah, I read all the books and I read the spin-off because she wrote some stuff for Jenny, Lil J. And it's before they even put out the show, because the books came out in 2002. That was the first novel that she released. And so it was only 5 years later when they decided to pick it up into a show.
So glad they did.
Yeah, and there were 13 novels in the series.
Ooh. It reminds me of, like, my Cheetah Girl days.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, that should be one of my episodes. Yes. Cheetah Girls. Oh my God, we are sisters. We stand together. All right. Anyway, this is about Gossip Girl.
Right,
but do you remember the first time you watched the show? Like, did you watch it from like the first episode, the pilot?
Okay, so yeah, I think if I remember correctly, I believe I started watching it like as it came on. If not, then maybe season 2, and I caught up, and then I started watching it. But I remember like watching it late at night. I don't know if it came on like 8 o'clock. I don't know. For some reason,
it came on. I think it was like 8. It wasn't too late at night.
Yeah, but I remember like timing my day around.
Yeah, because it was. At that time, we'll talk about it a little bit later, but at that time was one of the most talked about shows on TV. We
didn't have like social media back then, so it was like you had to catch it when it came on. Or missed it.
Yeah, I watched it from the beginning because, like I said, I read the book, so I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. Yeah. It's like one of my favorite things. So then I watched it from episode 1 up until it ended. Yeah. And actually, fun fact, I rewatched it over the summer because it's on Netflix. Yeah. So if you guys want to rewatch it before Netflix gives it away, now is the time. But what would you say? I mean, there's so many memorable moments in episodes, but like I put up some of my I have like 7 moments that I remember that I thought were like groundbreaking. The show. The first one is when Chuck and Blair finally got it on in the limo.
Oh, okay.
And Blair was a virgin at the time, and that's when Chuck and Blair were finally starting to like each other, because like she got out of the relationship with Nate, and then she lost her virginity in the back of a limo. I mean, I feel like that's the way to do it. If you're gonna do it in a car, it should be a limo.
I think I like that because I love Blair and Chuck. I know how they try to make Serena the main character. Yeah,
no.
Like I literally watched that
Serena
show
gets on my nerves.
for Blair. So when that happened, I was just like, oh my God. Oh my God, what's about to happen? Because for a while I thought she was dating Nate to get back at Serena or something, but I was just like, okay, her and Chuck.
Yeah.
Destroy everybody.
And it did. As soon as they got it on, it was like Blair and Chuck, like their reign didn't let up. So that was one of my favorite moments. Another one was when Rufus and Lily, they had their secret child. Oh, yeah. That was such a weird plot line. But
I was trying to figure out where was that supposed to lead? Like, I don't think there was everything.
I mean, it wasn't. Come to think of it, it was just like a mini subplot. Like it only lasted for a few episodes. And then we never. Then it was just like, where did this child go?
Where did the child go?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't understand what was the whole point of that.
Yeah.
And then when that happened, I was just like.
Yeah, because like I remember he came to Manhattan to like meet like Dan and Serena and everyone, but then he went back upstate or wherever he came from, and then he just stopped being in the series.
That's one of the things with the show though. Like it always had like random characters coming in and out.
Yeah.
Like for 1 episode, 2 episodes, and then they would go and they would make you like think or wonder about them the whole season. I'm just like,
they started doing that towards the end of the season. Like, guys, if you didn't know, it was 6 seasons of Gossip Girl, and I feel like they started to get a little bit wonky after the 4th season. It got a little too soap opera.
Yeah, too many plots.
It was just a lot to handle, and like some random things like, one of my other moments too, where Serena confessed that she killed somebody.
Okay, so
I think that was the brink of like, okay, you guys are doing a little too much.
I thought, if anything, I feel like that should have came out season 1, so we didn't know why she
went to boarding school.
Right,
yeah,
but you made us like sit on
we
that.
wait. I was like, anything. She didn't even kill the guy.
Exactly.
Well, first thing, I didn't like Serena. So like when she was like crying to be like, oh, I killed somebody, it's like, no, you didn't. Like, you just had a cocaine overdose. Like, you did not kill him
and
yourself.
And then you were just doing drugs. So
yeah.
I don't really understand why you're like crying about it.
It was such a dramatic episode, but hey,
it's just
whatever.
Funny, like realizing now, like why she went away. I'm just like, did you really have to go away? Like,
no, she didn't have to
at all. Like, I'm sure you and all your friends were doing drugs.
Yeah, I mean, Chuck was always doing it, so it's like it wasn't like a hidden secret. But
Serena's extra. She just likes attention. That's
yes. Oh yeah. Another moment that I loved was which was like a shocking moment when people thought Bart Bass was dead.
Oh yeah.
And he like rose from the grave. It was like I think they're on the roof, and like Chuck was like, Dad. And I was like, he's alive.
Come to think about that. It was like, what is this about? But imagine that. Imagine thinking your father's dead, like you buried him,
and like Chuck was distraught.
And then all of a sudden you see him, it's just like, what do you like?
Yeah, like he was in hiding the whole time.
And it's just like, for what? Like,
I don't know. That was just a strange moment. Again, another. I mean, I kind of live for the soap opera moments, but that one was just. I thought it was one of the most shocking moments of the whole series.
That moment, actually, because it was like it gave Chuck a reason to beat Chuck. Like, this is why Chuck is messed up, because y'all keep playing with him.
Because like first, this was a moment that I thought was a little strange, because like Chuck never knew his mom, and then his mom all of a sudden came in the picture. I think it was either the 5th or 6th season, and
when he was fighting.
And I was like, all of a sudden you want to bring his mom into the plot line, like you're gonna confuse us even more. People.
It was just I didn't like how they tried to make Lily his like fake mother. Figure. It was, I don't know. It was just too much. I mean, I was like.
Yeah, like she tried to console him a little too much, and it just felt inauthentic to me. I don't know. Same. I didn't really like the relationship between Chuck and Lily. Some people might disagree, but I didn't think.
I just like everyone's relationships intertwined. It was just too much. It was like an incest pool.
It really was, because in the beginning, Blair was with Nate.
Yep.
Serena
was with Nate.
She interfered with their relationship, and then Serena was with Dan for a few seasons.
Dan's father, Serena's mom, had a child.
Exactly. And so they're like step siblings,
right?
Because Rufus and Lily got married, and then Blair was with Dan, which I thought was the weirdest relationship out of the entire series.
I just feel like maybe that was their way of forcing him into the in crowd, but it was just like. In real life,
no, Blair would have never, like, in the books, like Blair and Dan did not get along. So like having that come together in the show, it didn't make any sense. It was weird.
I don't like how they try to make it seem like Blair was with every guy on the show.
No,
like,
Blair is the boss bitch. She can be with whoever she wants, because she's the best. But I think Chuck and Blair were like the one true pairing.
Exactly.
They were meant for each other.
I feel like they were both just like the perfect amount of like evil and good.
Oh, for sure. Because they love playing schemes and stuff.
She balanced him. He sort of like brought her down a little bit. Like, girl, calm down.
Yeah, I mean, when I didn't really like Chuck was when I felt like he was a little bit emotionally abusive.
No,
like,
he was.
In the beginning, but I feel like he finally got around to himself and like realized like, no, this is the woman that I love.
I feel like it plays in that whole thing where it's like, when men are trying to find themselves,
blah,
blah, blah, they hurt.
Yeah, but I think in the end, like, I'm happy that they got married.
Same. I was happy that she got married to someone else first.
Yeah.
Just to hurt him.
Oh, like, for sure. That was the best. She didn't get married to anyone. She got married to a fucking prince.
Exactly. Like, so I was like, she was like, let him know. You're not my only option.
Exactly.
Sir. But I really like that.
Yeah. They were meant to be together.
They were.
I think another stupid moment. This wasn't a memorable moment for me, but when Ivy Dickens came in the picture. I thought she irked me to the core. This is one of my least favorite characters. Ivy pretended to be, her real name is Ivy Dickens, but she pretended to be Charlie Rhodes, which was Serena's cousin.
And then she tried to befriend Dan.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
It was just
a lot.
Just thinking about it makes me so annoyed. Because she was, oh my gosh, she was so stupid. But speaking of characters, I mean, were there any other moments that you thought were memorable?
Chuck and Blair's marriage.
Yeah.
When Serena had that affair with the teacher. Was it teacher professor?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting because I was like, at that
but Serena
age,
would do that.
Yeah, she played perfect to her character, but it just made me think like. Thinking back, why was I watching that at my age? Like,
yeah. No, the topics that they went in the show, like, I mean, 10 years ago, I was only 15.
Exactly.
So I'm like, I shouldn't have been knowing about any of this stuff.
I forgot what season was, but they actually showed like a threesome, and I was just like,
yeah. Oh, it was with Hilary Duff. Hilary Duff's character, Dan and Vanessa. They had a threesome.
And I was like, that was so. It was odd.
Yeah, it was very provocative, like for that time.
And for that channel, because CW was a family channel.
Yeah, because you had like the Seventh Heavens, the One Tree Hills, like all these shows, and all of a sudden Gossip Girl come in and like, listen, we're about to change the game real quick.
And I was here for it. I was definitely here for it. But any moment that Chuck and Blair were together, or when Serena and Blair weren't friends, I was actually here for that too.
I mean, trying to think, did I like Serena and Blair as friends? I think they were good frenemies. Yeah.
I feel like at the end they have each other's back, but I also felt like there was some type of like competition, at least early on.
Oh, for sure.
During the later seasons, I feel like they grew like a real genuine friendship, but the beginning was
because Blair was always a queen bee, and she felt like, I think at some point she was kind of intimidated by Serena, because Serena was just. She was popular without even trying to be popular, because she was the more, the pretty girl.
Right.
And Blair kind of had to prove herself even more. So I think Blair was a little bit petty when it came towards that.
Blair was like a little bit jealous of Serena in that aspect.
But towards the end of the series, like, they got a lot more closer.
Yeah. I just feel like I do to this day really think Serena never really grew. Like throughout the whole season, it's like she went from one mess to another mess. It was just like, where's your growth for real?
Like she did drugs. She thinks she killed someone. She's up with her professor. Like, she had a shitty relationship with her dad. She got into a car accident.
She could never really keep a job.
No.
Like,
and it's like,
no healthy
what did you learn from this? I mean, she got married at the end of the season to Dan.
Yeah, but it was
that was another stupid point. Okay, Serena and Dan did not need to get married, in my opinion.
I just feel like that was a force on trying to make Serena's character seem wholesome.
Yeah.
She married the lonely guy that wasn't in their crew. Like, I just feel like that was such a force, because in real life, I don't think that would ever happen. Like,
I don't think
it wasn't realistic at all.
Nah. But how did you feel about when Dan revealed himself as Gossip Girl? Do you think he was a good Gossip Girl? Like, because, like, I think they kind of forced that a little bit, too.
I was going to say that. I feel like they decided to make him Gossip Girl the last season. Like, I feel like they were in the writer's room. Like,
figure, like, okay, what can we do?
Yeah, because some of it just didn't make sense. Like, Dan couldn't know. Like, I think
they were just saying that because he was a lonely boy, like, he got to see, like, how everyone interacted and stuff. Because he intervened himself into like every single party, every like event and stuff. So he got to see the behind the scenes. But
naturally, I really don't think he was originally supposed to.
No, like they tried to make him into a villain, which didn't suit him at all.
I didn't think they tried to make him into a villain. I just think they tried to make it seem like, oh, this outsider basically like put everyone's business.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think that he wasn't originally supposed to be Gossip Girl. Like,
I
think they started the series with saying Dan is Gossip Girl.
I don't think they knew until the last season. Like they're like, okay, we have to pick someone. Let's just choose. Who
would you have liked to be Gossip Girl?
You know what? I thought it would have been like Eric or somebody.
That's what I thought. Either Eric or Dan's sister.
Oh, Jenny, like Lil J.
But then she got sent away, so she wasn't even around for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I didn't think it would be one of the main characters.
Me either.
I mean, at one point we thought it was going to be Georgina because she had all the inside scoop.
She had all the tea.
Yeah. Speaking of Georgina, she's actually one of my favorite characters on the show.
I hated her.
Because she was just so wicked.
So messy. Like, good. And I never understood how people did not see through it.
Yeah. Nah, she was one of my favorites. But, Georgina was a fave. Blair was a fave, obviously. I actually like Little J. I liked her when she became bad Jenny. When she kind of she overthrew Blair's throne for a little bit. I thought that was dope. Serena was not one of my favorite characters. I liked her style, but I didn't like her as a character. I'm trying to think who else. Ooh, I love Dorota. Dorota was bomb. That was Blair's maid. Yeah.
She held it down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I liked Eric too because he could stand up for himself and he was very sassy. Yeah. And I don't like Rufus. Rufus got on my nerves.
I feel like
he got on my nerves.
Like pretentious. Like,
yeah, especially when he got married to Lily. His whole demeanor changed, and I was not feeling it at all. Do you think Rufus and Lily should have been married? Because like they were like high school like sweethearts.
See, that's what I was always confused about. Because like, so if they're together, can their kids be together?
They were together.
Yeah, but it was just like in real life,
no, not in real life. That would be strange.
That's what I'm saying. So it was I don't know. I feel like they had to pick either one for it to work. But remember the flashback at the end where it was like a flash. It was like not flashback, like 4 scenes to the future, and they came to the wedding and they weren't together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I preferred that.
Yeah, I don't think together. I kind of like Lily with Bart when they were together. I thought that was more of like a power couple.
Same.
But yeah.
I like them together.
What else? Ooh, do you like Vanessa?
Okay, so I have my.
She was annoying too. He's always trying to interfere with Dan.
So Vanessa,
Dan's love life.
Like, is that girl that she wants to be part of the in crowd, but she also thinks she's better than the in crowd.
Yeah, like she can't make up her mind.
Yeah, and I felt like so because how her and Nate got together, it was just kind of like, is this girl like? And
plus, she was always jealous because she wanted to be with Dan, but it's like no, Dan has Serena at one point. He had Blair at one point, so it's like he does not want you, sis.
I don't know.
So
I
stop.
Like Vanessa was just like they tried to make her the female Dan. And it was just like, okay,
it just didn't work. Yeah.
Pick one.
But how did you think the show like kind of made an impact? You know, like when it first debuted. Because I feel like at that moment in time, 10 years ago, there wasn't a show like Gossip Girl, I feel like.
I felt, as far as making an impact for our, like, age group or just in general?
Maybe for both, yeah.
Okay, for our age group, I think it was definitely one of those pieces where, like, okay, we have something that we can all sort of relate to in the sense of they're in high school.
Yeah.
There's a lot of this backstabbing going on. Everyone has their own personal story going on. But on a wider scale, I think it was just a good show. Like, it sort of helped. Like, CW was mainly had family shows. So it's kind of like that one edgy show that was like, this is how kids are actually, this is what kids are actually doing. Right. Yeah. So it wasn't like the goody two shoes or everything's going to be okay type situation. It was
exactly.
Like, no, some kids are actually going through drugs. Some kids are actually going on a deep side, breaking up, having children out of wedlock.
It was a lot of messiness.
Yeah, it was so messy.
Yeah, I think prior to Gossip Girl, the only like scandalous show I would say was the OC. Oh yeah, and that was that on at the same time? It ended, I think, a few months. Let me have it up. It ended in February 2007, so it ended before Gossip Girl came on. But I feel like Gossip Girl kind of pushed the limits more than the OC did, and I feel like Gossip Girl was more relatable than the OC. Like, OC was just, it was, I don't know, I think it was just too cookie cutter. Yeah, like I think Gossip Girl, like I remember like reading through magazines and stuff, it was like always like an OMG moment or like the most provocative like teen show on TV. Like the headlines were just like, they can't believe a teen show would be like so sexual and like just so out there. So I think at that time people were kind of shocked at what Gossip Girl was doing. But I think now it definitely made an impact on TV because you have shows like Pretty Little Liars and like Riverdale, and what are some other like teen shows that are out there? They try to bring back the fake OC with what's the show? Siesta Key. Oh, Siesta Key. Yeah. Which is unnecessary because it's trying to be like Laguna Beach, but then you just need to relax. But yeah, like even Revenge, Pretty Little Liars, Riverdale, like all those shows came. Was really good. I just actually watched it's on my list for shows to watch. But yeah, I think if it wasn't for Gossip Girl, these shows, I mean, they probably would have existed because, you know, this is like a familiar concept of like teens acting out. But I feel like it set the tone. Yeah, it showed that this is actually an audience. Exactly. Yeah, and I think Yeah, it's amazing that what am I trying to say? Like Gossip Girl kind of set the standard for TV, and I feel like it also set the standard for pop culture as well, because just the fashion alone, like Eric Daman, he worked on Sex and the City, so he had access to all of like the high-end designers, and he brought that to the teen world. And I remember like for every like magazine cover, like Vogue and Elle and Harper's Bazaar, like there was always like a section about Gossip Girl style, which wasn't really heard of, you know, for a teen show to have like such an impact on fashion. So I think that was really cool too.
I did realize it watching it, but I didn't even think of that, like the fashion aspect.
Yeah, the fashion, like
Blair has some dope outfits on that show.
She did. She was always wearing like a Chanel coat or like everything.
While being ruthless, so I loved it.
Yeah, she's always like the queen bee with her clothing, and the music too. I think I learned about a lot of new artists and bands just from watching Gossip Girl. Like they always premiered like the rising stars of like the music, so that was really cool too. Like it actually had an impact on like what kids were listening to.
And it's dope because it gave like musicians that platform to be in front of studio audiences.
Exactly. Like yeah. The show, I think it was ahead of its time. Like when it first came out, like it was so cool. But let's just like look through to see what these actors. I mean, they're all like doing amazing now. But Blake Lively, who plays Serena van der Woodsen, she's still a big movie star.
Isn't she married to someone?
She's married to Ryan Reynolds, and they have 2 kids, 2 daughters together.
Whenever I see her, I just see Serena.
Yeah, like, I could never. I mean, obviously, I've seen her in different movies, but it's just like you're still Serena in my mind. But she's still successful. Leighton Meester, who played Blair Waldorf, she did some music after Gossip Girl ended. And she did music while Gossip Girl was on too. But she released her debut album in 2014, which was really good. And she's been acting here and there, but she's
seen her like in a couple of
things. And she's married to Adam Brody, who was on the OC. So I was like, that's like a cool full circle.
Go Blair.
Yeah, she's always gonna be good. Penn Badgley, who played Dan Humphrey, he's married now. And he's a lead singer of like a rock band, so he doesn't really do acting anymore. He just focuses on music. Yeah. Ed Westwick, who played Chuck Bass, he's been pretty low key with acting, but he's gonna be a star of a new series called White Gold that's gonna be debuting later in the fall. It's about a British salesman in the 1980s. So I mean, he is British, so if you guys didn't know, Ed Westwick is actually from London. He's not American. Yeah, because it's always funny, like when you see people like off camera, like in interviews and stuff, like you hear his accent, you're like, whoa, I didn't realize. But yeah, he's British. Chase Crawford, who is Nate Archibald, hasn't been really in the limelight as much. I don't know what he's up to, but I remember he was a guest star on Glee like a few years ago. But
so glad they ended that show.
Yeah, that was a hot mess. Taylor Momsen, who played Jenny Humphrey, the reason why she left the show is because she wanted to be a singer, and she's a lead singer in the rock band The Pretty Reckless, which is actually like a really good band. It's been really successful.
Yeah,
so that's why they made her character a little darker and like more like gothy. Yeah, because like she was that was like her way of easing out the show to like transition. Yeah, she's doing well. Jessica Shore, who played Vanessa, she hasn't have too many roles. She does more like entertainment stuff. Like she's like done hosting for like after like award shows and stuff.
Like she's one of those girls that are too pretty to be an actress.
Yeah, she's actually gorgeous. She's really gorgeous.
Like, she's so beautiful.
I totally agree. And who else? Connor Parolo, he played Eric, Serena's younger brother, and he starred in Revenge, was one of the series that kind of was inspired by Gossip Girl, so he still kept that going. Michelle Trachtenberg, who played Regina, I mean, she's been acting even before Gossip Girl came on, and she's still acting now, so I think she's been a child actor.
I would say, how old is she?
Michelle, I think she's in her 30s, but she's not old. I don't know her exact age, but yeah, she's been acting since like she was a teenager. So yeah, Gossip Girl was just like another check on her resume.
It's crazy, like knowing the ages of those actors and actresses.
Yeah.
While they were doing Gossip Girl.
Yeah, because like I'm looking at Leighton Meester is 31 now, so she was 21 when the show started, which is crazy. Kelly Rutherford, who played Lily, she's been in Jane the Virgin, Quantico, Bones, and all that. Yeah, so she's been doing well, like all the big shows.
That's good.
Yeah, and then last but not least, Matthew Settle, who played Rufus. He hasn't been acting too much, but he had a role in that Ouija movie, you know, like the Ouija board thing. Yeah, he had a role in that, but me neither. I don't believe in those type of movies. Those movies scare me. I like horror movies, but I don't like demonic stuff. That's kind of freaks me.
Religious.
No, ma'am. Speaking of, did you watch It?
I was just gonna ask you that.
Yeah.
So, did you watch it?
Yes, okay, I loved it. I loved it.
Okay, this is my problem with It.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it for what it is. If they would have named it a comedic horror
film, I didn't know it was gonna be funny.
It was the funniest thing I've seen.
It was hilarious.
But it wasn't supposed. Like,
no, I mean.
I wanted to be scared.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Did you watch the original, like from the 80s?
No,
like,
but
so
I heard that was scary. Like,
yeah. So I was like, whoa. I don't know what to expect.
Me and my friend were literally laughing. The whole time.
I mean, there was a few moments where I had a few like jump scares. Like I was a little shook, but I was laughing the entire time.
I was like, cracking up. I was so mad.
Yeah.
I was like, they should just made this a comedy.
Yeah, like to me, it was more of like a coming of age movie rather than like a straight horror movie. Which I guess is fine, but
movie, like,
yeah.
It was funny because like when it ended, the guys behind us, they were like, this movie sucked, but we were all laughing the entire time.
It was a good movie. It just wasn't what I expecting. Like I thought I was gonna be more scared, but side note, the director Andy Muschietti, he says that he's going to make the sequel is already in the works, but they're gonna make it. He claims a little bit more. Like actual horror.
See, this
is
the thing. How do you make a sequel? Because you know at the end when they're like, oh, if it comes back, we're going to come back.
Oh, yeah. So
how do you come back? Because it only sees children. So you're not going to be a child anymore.
Yeah. Well, in the book, Stephen King, they come back as adults, but I guess that memory still haunts them. I haven't read the book. So if you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, they still have that in them, even though they're adults when they come back to Derry, but they could still see it. So they come back as adults and try to defeat it when I think like 27 years later when they're in their like 30s.
I don't want to see no grown adults chasing a clown.
Yeah, I mean, I would prefer if it was the kids, but I think they just want to stick to like what Stephen King wrote. But yeah, sequels in the works.
Looking back at it now, I don't know why I expect them to be really horror when they have kids in it.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
but yeah, I think honestly that cast is like spot on. I think they casted it so well.
The
Finn Wolfhard. He plays on Stranger Things.
He is hilarious.
Yeah.
And the guy with the germs.
Oh yeah, the hat. Oh my god. They gave me gazebos.
It's bullshit. I was so mad at his mom for.
Yeah. It was. She like tried to protect him a little too much. Like he wasn't even sick. Like his asthma spray was water. It was water.
How I'm laughing now is how I was laughing with
But honestly, if you guys haven't seen it,
go see
I mean,
for a good laugh.
Some people say like they're actually scared of clowns, but I'm not scared of clowns, so I thought it was a good time. But yeah, sequels in the works. But yeah.
So how do you feel about this whole like clown thing? Because it and then
American Horror Story.
Is it like
I think clowns are making a comeback. I don't know.
You saw the interview with those clowns saying that they're offended by
and I'm like, I didn't know clowns could be offended, but I mean, neither did I. I just learn new things every day about these clowns, but I don't. And the thing is, I'm not scared of clowns, so I don't mind it. But there are people like legitimately freaked out, like. Some of my coworkers, like, they can't watch American Horror Story because they're scared of clowns. And I'm like, well, I'll watch it for you. Like, it's not that scary. But, yeah, I've never been afraid of clowns. Even since, like, I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like, it's not something I'm scared of.
Me either. I don't know. I never really saw them
as,
like, real things.
But I didn't realize, like, when American Horror Story, like, this new season first started, people were actually freaking out, like, on my timeline. And I'm like, why? The clown is not scary.
It's not.
But I guess people have different fears. Like, I have a fear of holes. And a fear of birds.
Like the girl from American Horror Story.
So like when I watch, I'm like getting chills thinking about it right now. But like when I watch it, like I'm scared for her because it's like I have the same phobia as she does.
Is it just holes in general?
It's like clusters of holes.
Okay.
If you guys know, it's called trypophobia. Don't look it up on Google because it's like it'll creep you out.
Yeah.
Like I have goosebumps. Yeah, I have goosebumps right now as I'm talking about it. But yeah, it's like it's disgusting. But yeah, I relate to her on the trypophobia, but her fear of clowns, I'm just like, I don't get it, sis. Like, why are you yelling all the time?
I'm waiting to see like where they go with this because I can't deal with her screaming.
No, I was just talking about it the other day. I was like, if this is how the season is gonna be, like, I don't know how much I can endure.
Be every episode, and like I need someone else to see these clowns, so it's not just her being crazy.
Exactly. Like it's supposed to dive into a little bit more of like the cult aspect. Yeah. Like they're supposed to bring like Charles Manson. Well, spoiler alert. Evan Peters is supposed to play. He plays Kai, the blue-haired guy, but he's also supposed to play. Yeah, he's also supposed to play Charles Manson and Andy Warhol and like all these different cult leaders. So I'm like waiting for them to actually dive into that plot line. Cause I'm so sick of all these clowns. Yeah, come on tonight. But yeah, so we'll see how they do with American Horror Story. But
I need something to happen.
Yeah, they need to get it together. Yeah. But now it's time for me to quiz you. Are you ready?
Oh, I thought we already did the
quiz. I thought I was going to forget.
Okay.
I had it right in my face. All right, it's just a few questions. Okay. Just like go right real quick. All right.
Are you going to tell me immediately if I'm right or wrong?
I'm going to I think I know most of the answers, but I'm just going to click it and it'll tell me if it's right or wrong. All right, in the pilot episode, this is a Gossip Girl quiz, guys. In the pilot episodes, Serena returns to New York City after a year away. Where was she? Playing hooky in the Hamptons, interning in LA, boarding school, searching for her dad in Europe.
Boarding school.
Yeah. That was an obvious answer. Where do Blair and Serena love to eat lunch? At the Palace Hotel, on the steps of the Met, in the school's courtyard, in their school's cafeteria. It's the easy one.
It's either the courtyard or the steps.
Yeah. Okay. Steps of the Met. Which of Blair's parties does Jenny make an invitation in exchange for a spot on the guest list? Kiss on the Lips, Constance Billard pool party, the Snowflake ball, or the White party?
Kiss on the Lips?
Yeah. That was like one of their most iconic parties. Where do Nate, Chuck, and Dan go to high school? Buckley, St. Bernard School for Boys, Dalton, or St. Jude School for Boys?
St. Bernard's?
St. Jude's. Oh. It's a fictional school. They made it up. Nate's, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Nate's family on the show claims to be descendants from which real-life famous family? The Kennedys, the Rockefellers, the Vanderbilts, or the Trumps?
Wait, repeat that?
Nate's family on the show, they claim to be descendants from which real-life family? The Kennedys, the Rockefellers, the Vanderbilts, or the Trumps?
It's either Rockefeller or
Vanderbilts. The Vanderbilts. Which breakfast food, this is an easy one. Which breakfast food does Rufus serve every chance he gets? Pancakes, French toast, waffles, or croissants? He's always making them for breakfast. Yeah.
Okay.
Serena's mother, Lily, has an ex-boyfriend and an ex-husband who almost have the same name.
Okay.
Is it Claus and Klaus, Louis and Louise, Damien and Damien, and Jeffrey and Jeffrey?
The L's. Louis and Louise.
Klaus and Klaus. Which character was played by a different actor in the pilot? This one's easy. Dorota, Lily, Eric, or Eleanor? They played a different actor in the pilot, and they changed the actor for the rest of the season. Dorota, Lily, Eric, or Eleanor?
Eric or Eleanor?
It was Eleanor. I'll give that one to you. I'll give that one to you. What kind of luxury vehicle are Blair and Chuck? We just talked about this. Where were they when they hook up for the first time?
Oh, limo.
Yeah.
Luxury vehicle.
That's what it said. What's the name of Serena's doorman? Dmitri, Ilya, Boris, or Vanya?
The second one.
Ilya. No, it's Vanya.
No.
How does Blair ensure that Nate will always think of her fondly? She sewed her heart pin into the sleeve of his sweater. She tattooed his name on her wrist. She bought him a puppy. Or she convinced Gossip Girl to not spread a rumor about him. There's like a thing that she does, so he'll always remember her.
It either has to be the first one or the last one. Not spread the rumor?
No, she pinned the heart on the sweater.
Oh, so
yeah.
The first one.
Very almost done. Halfway there. Which guy is Serena?
Halfway?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Which guy is Serena not related to at any point in the series? Is it Nate, Chuck, Dan, or Eric? Not related through blood or marriage.
Okay, so you said Nate,
Chuck, Dan, or Eric?
Dan or Eric. Chuck. It's either Chuck or Nate.
Come on, think
Nate?
about it.
Nate?
Yeah.
Okay.
What is?
Hope so. Like,
yeah, no, that would be so messy.
So messy.
What is Blair's middle name? Cecilia, Cornelia, Cordelia, or Camellia?
All those are so ugly.
Yeah, I know what it is.
Cecilia.
Yeah. It's Cornelia.
Oh.
Where does Nate go to college? Dartmouth, NYU, Columbia, or USC?
NYU. Or
Columbia.
Yeah, Columbia.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. Which Disney actress? I said her name earlier.
Hilary Duff.
Yeah. Okay. Boom. That's when they had the threesome.
Where
Where
was
did?
she
Yeah.
doing that?
I don't know. That was just a strange
I love
moment.
Hilary Duff,
Yeah. That was just a weird moment in her
Yeah.
career. Where did Georgina go when she left New York City? London, Bible camp, a colony, or fashion school? This is fairly easy because she like did a whole 180 in her personality, and she was very like nice to everyone.
Bible camp?
Yeah. What's the name of Lily's and Rufus' secret son? Scott, Alex, Toby, or Eli?
Eli.
Scott.
Oh, so random.
Which magazine did Blair intern? 17, Vogue, W, or The New Yorker?
Or the
W. What is Serena's secret talent? Horseback riding, painting? Oh my God, the shade. The shade is so real. Well, she had a sex tape.
Right.
So, horseback riding. Oh my God. Painting, sailing, or snowboarding?
What were the options?
Horseback riding, painting, sailing, or snowboarding?
Painting.
It was horseback riding.
Oh.
Okay. So Bart, remember he fake died in a car crash, but he actually died a few years after that happened. But how did he die? Did he have a heart attack?
Mm-hmm.
Was he murdered? Did he fall off a rooftop? Or did he have a car crash again?
Either he was murdered or he fell off the rooftop.
One of them is the right answer.
I know. Murder. Rooftop.
Too late, I already clicked it.
Hold on, who was murdered? I feel like there was some murder on that show.
Serena murdered someone.
Well, no.
But with an actual murder?
Yeah.
I feel like someone was shot.
Yeah.
Someone actually died.
Chuck got shot.
He did get shot when they were in France or like somewhere in Europe, and he like had to recover. Yeah, you're right. Blair was a princess of which country? England,
Blair,
England, France, Denmark, or Monaco?
Denmark.
I can't keep a straight face because that's not the right answer. No, you get a bad point. It's Monaco. Well, she's married to Louis.
In my mind, she's married to Chuck the whole entire season.
No. All right, this one is the easy one. Which love interest did not propose, like consider proposing to Blair? Chuck, Louis, Dan, or Nate? Who did not?
Nate.
Okay. Dan.
It was Dan?
It's Dan. Dan never proposed. Remember, Nate wanted to give Blair his grandmother's ring. That was like in the beginning of the season. Okay. This one's a little hard. Which one-liner was uttered by Serena? You can't make people love you, but you can make them fear you. I'd ask how you are, but I don't really care. Once men have tasted caviar, it baffles me how they settle for catfish. Destiny is for losers is just an excuse to wait for things to happen instead of making them happen.
The last one?
No, that one was with Blair. Blair said, no, Serena said, I'd ask you how you are, but I don't really care. That's when Georgina came to she crashed one of Lily's parties. I remember that scene. What's the name of Dan's book? This one should be easy.
T? I don't know.
T. Is it called Inside, Gossip Girl, Upper East Siders, or The Scandalous Lives of Manhattan's Elite? I'll give you a hint. It's fairly simple.
What are the options?
Gossip Girl, Inside, The Scandalous Lives of Manhattan's Elite, or Upper East Siders.
Inside?
Yeah. Yeah, you got it right.
Yeah. Wasn't Nate's wasn't Nate's company called The Insider, or was it?
I think it was called The Insider or something. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I remember Dan tried to give the rights of the book to Nate because he wanted to turn it into a movie, but that didn't happen. Prior to becoming a TV show, Gossip Girl was almost a movie, but which celebrity was going to play Blair in the movie? Amanda Bynes, Lindsay Lohan, Lauren Conrad, or Paris Hilton?
Lindsay?
Yep.
You trying to play my girl Blair by
no, not
at all.
Lindsay would have been better off as Serena, to be honest. That mirrors her whole life.
Right.
Okay, Ed Westwick, who he played Chuck, but he auditioned for a different role. Mm-hmm. Was it Dan, Eric, Carter, or Nate? I actually don't remember this one.
Nate?
Yeah. I didn't know that. Before they played an on-screen couple, which two characters were actually homeschooled together? Serena and Dan, Blair and Dan, Serena and Nate, or Blair and Nate? I think I know what this one is.
In real life?
Yeah. They were homeschooled together in real life.
I want to say... What are the ones without Nate? Which ones are the
Serena and Dan and Blair and Dan.
Blair and Dan?
Serena and Dan.
Oh, okay.
These actors playing these characters did not become a real life couple. Was it Lily and Rufus, Chuck and Vanessa, Blair and Nate, or Serena and Dan? They did not become. They actually went out.
You mean in real life?
Yeah. In real life. Yeah.
Okay. I thought you meant real life.
Oh no. Show. Oh, real life off camera.
Damn, they was doing incest inside the movie.
Yeah, Chuck and Vanessa dated in real life. Serena and Dan dated in real life. Lily and Rufus dated in real life. That's but so Blair and Nate did not date.
That's so weird.
Yeah. Which supporting character? Oh, this is easy. Which supporting character almost got their own spin-off show? Was it Lily, Dorota, Eleanor, or Georgina? They almost got their own show.
What were the things?
Lily, Dorota, Eleanor, or Georgina?
Georgina.
It was Lily. Because remember they did that flashback episode where Lily was in the 80s with her sister?
Oh.
That was almost going to be a show.
I'm definitely going to watch that.
All right, last question. This one's hard. I don't even know this. Which day was officially dubbed Gossip Girl Day by the mayor of New York in 2012?
They're funny.
January 26th, March 11th, August 9th, or November 28th? I wonder when it is. I don't know this one.
You said January?
January, March, August, or November?
I want to say March or November.
Which one? March? It's in January. Oh, it says January 26th celebrated Gossip Girl's 100th episode. Oh. Look at that. You got... Okay. That's funny. It says you got 40% correct. So you are one of Blair Waldorf's minions. You pay close attention to Manhattan's elite, but you are not quite a member of Blair and Serena's inner circle yet anyway. Keep watching and slip on a headband for good measure, and you'll become one of them someday. That was fun.
Yeah, it was.
All right. Okay, so that was it for the Gossip Girl recap. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Now, I mean, I already said that I rewatched it this summer, but it's like I kind of want to watch some of the episodes again.
Yeah, I feel like I need to watch it.
Yeah, guys, it's on Netflix, so watch it now before. Yeah, but now we're gonna get into the song of the week. guys, this is my favorite segment of the show. It's when both co-hosts surprise each other with one throwback song from the early 2000s or the 90s. So I usually make the coworkers go first, but since Ann is still searching, I actually have a song, guys. Can you believe it? I'm always scrambling for a song, but I actually found one, and it is actually Gossip Girl related. So my song of the week is from the brand The Bravery. They're an indie rock band, and their song Believe was actually featured on Gossip Girl. And it was featured in like a lot of commercials and everything, but Gossip Girl kind of put The Bravery on the map, like we were talking about before, how like artists kind of got their start with Gossip Girl. So yeah, Bravery Believe came out in 2007. That's one of my favorite songs from the band. So that is my song of the week.
And mine, can I pick two?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. No Scrubs.
All right.
No Scrubs.
And you saying that because did you watch the Hip Hop Honors?
Yes.
Is that when they were singing it?
And the performance was so good. Like Tiana, apparently she had a broken foot and she was still performing. So
just crazy.
Shout out to her.
She is amazing.
Shaggy, it wasn't me.
Hey.
I remember that song so much because when I was in Nigeria, and for some reason it kept on playing on the radio. Like
That's so funny.
We went, it kept on playing. And I was just like, what's going on? But I love those two songs.
Nice. All right, yeah, guys, if you don't know, I have a running Spotify playlist where I add all of these songs of the week every single week. So definitely give that a click and get your nostalgia on. But yeah, that is a wrap for this week's episode of Besterday. This is a fun one. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed all the delicious Gossip Girl juice, and definitely rewatch the show. Watch the show if you haven't already, because it's definitely one of the best shows of our generation, I believe. So definitely keep an eye out for that. And I hope they don't make any type of reboot. Yeah. Please do not. Keep its purity. I'm so sick of reboots, but yeah, just keep it how it was. And yeah, hashtag Besterday on Twitter and Instagram, and definitely rate me on iTunes, like I said prior, and definitely follow myself, Bianca Gracie, on Twitter, and tell them your Twitter handle once again.
Follow me at Miss Akinnuoye, MSAKINNUOYE.
Yeah, that's a wrap, guys. I will see you next week with a very special guest, so look out for that. All right, bye.
Bye.